It feels like a Boracity type of day today, and now we're gonna watch how BTS paved the way. I mean, did I mean to rhyme? Maybe. Yoongi, hire me.
You know BTS!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Landon, and we are here again today for another Boracity magazine video that I just wanted to watch. Nobody voted on this video, nobody forced me to watch it, nobody asked me to watch it, I wanted to watch it. After I put out a video about unpopular BTS opinions on TikTok, and I kind of touched on BTS paving the way and some people that came before them, and my little feelings about that, you can go find it on TikTok and watch it. But I was approached by Emily, and Emily was like, you need to watch the Boracity magazine video about BTS paving the way because she kind of touches on the eras and everything, and I said, duh. I haven't watched Bora in a couple, maybe months now, and I feel like my life has been lacking a little bit, and this is why. This is exactly why. So today, we're going to be watching Boracity magazine, BTS Paved the Way. Why is it so hard to accept that? It's not. It's not. I promise. I'm excited to see this, and I hope you are too. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of Boracity. I mean, did I rhyme again? Oh my god. I am literally a poet.
BTS paved the way for K-pop. It is a fact, but also a controversial thing to say. So how is it that there is so much disagreement? First of all, I think we all need to make sure we're talking about the same thing first.
Yeah.
Paving the way simply means making it easier for something to happen or someone to do something. Paving the way doesn't mean inventing something. You're not building the road from scratch. You're just paving a road which is very hard to walk through, making it easier for others to walk behind you. So when we say BTS paved the way, we don't mean that BTS invented K-pop or entered the global music market first. We just mean that BTS made it easier for K-pop acts to enter the global music market. K-pop was a growing interest before BTS, but it was still a very niche thing. Now, however, K-pop is part of conversations about pop culture because BTS are mainstream. It was only after BTS entered the Billboard charts when Billboard created charts only for K-pop.
Look, I'm sorry, I'm stopping it already, but this is like it. I feel like BTS paved the way, right? And I feel like there were people trying to put up roadblocks. Yeah, I feel like there was people trying to go back behind them and tear the pavement up. And that's what really gets me so angry about when BTS makes it into the main Hot 100 or BTS makes it into the pop category at award shows. And then they create K-pop versions, the K-pop 100. Best K-pop song. Like, that's what makes me so angry is like, let them just live in the realm of the best. They don't have to have their own separate categories. And that has nothing to do with anything, but I'm just like, I'm already starting off like, pause, because it's gonna make me heated hearing this. Okay, sorry, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
It was only after BTS started winning Western award shows when Western award shows created K-pop categories.
Hate it. I hate it.
It was only after BTS won their first American award for top social artist when K-pop acts opened Twitter accounts because BTS were nominated for their Twitter engagement. It was only after BTS...
Wait, hold up. I just want to go back and check these receipts. EXO, Blackpink, Super Junior, Red Velvet, NCT 127 all joined 2017. That is some receipts. Okay, never realized that before, but like, damn. If that's not obvious, I don't know what is.
accounts because BTS were nominated for their Twitter engagement. It was only after BTS debuted in American television when K-pop acts started being invited to American television. It was only after BTS started getting Grammy nominations when K-pop acts started submitting their songs to the Grammys. It was only after BTS's fandom requested to have their albums on stores like Target when K-pop started selling their albums in stores like Target. It was only after BTS became the biggest group in the world when K-pop groups had the opportunity to sign with American labels. BTS paved the way because without them, K-pop would have remained a niche interest and wouldn't have the global platform they have today thanks to BTS. So what are the arguments against the phrase BTS paved the way?
Okay, wait. Before we get into this, I want to kind of spill my opinions before this video. And you know what? To be real with you, 100% real with you. I am so open to my thoughts and everything being changed, my opinions, because whenever Boracity comes through and shows receipts or people like Emily talk to me on Discord and like share receipts and everything like that, I am not the person that's going to stick to the beliefs that I have to always be right. You know what I mean? I'm totally okay with that. So just what I kind of said, just before we get into this, because I don't want to like misconstrue anything, what I said in my unpopular opinion video is that I think 100% BTS paved the way. way. 100% believe that. I feel like when we talk about the conversation, though, of K-pop's global takeover, what I said was, I feel like we do have to mention the other generations, so like second generation and stuff, doing late night shows and coming to America to do performances and stuff. And I feel like we have to mention Psy, Gangnam Style. And whenever I'm saying that, I'm not saying like that they paved the way for BTS or anything like that too. I feel like what I was trying to express is that you have to mention the K-pop groups and artists that came to America before, so you can show how BTS truly paved the way. The way that I kind of explained it in my TikTok was that these groups, well, mostly Psy, in my opinion, bought the materials for the pavement and then kind of handed them off to BTS, and BTS paved the way. You know what I mean? Like, he tested the waters. Psy was the one that dipped the toe in the water to feel what kind of temperature it was. Because to be real with you, people were dancing to Gangnam Style in college, and I know a lot of people said that we didn't realize it was K-pop, or it was more of a meme kind of thing too, but I personally realized that it was Korean after I watched it a little bit. And even if it is a meme, in my opinion, I think that is a little like disrespectful not to count Psy in this conversation at all. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. And you know what? I'm open into Boracity changing my mind, because I know that even Psy has said things like BTS paved the way, and they did. I'm saying they did. But like, I just feel like they got to be mentioned in the conversation. So let's go.
First is that the second generation paved the way. For more context, we need to understand that K-pop has different generations. The first generation came around the 1990s and is composed of artists like So Taiji, who basically invented K-pop by introducing American music styles and music equipment to South Korea. And entertainment agencies were inspired by the Japanese idol industry to create the K-pop idol training system, in which singers train for years to debut in a group. The second generation started around the early 2000s, and it was when K-pop became known as a niche interest in countries outside of South Korea. The third generation is K-pop slowly entering the global music market. BTS is part of this generation. The fourth generation starts in 2017, after BTS became the most popular group in the world. So the argument is that without the first and second generation of K-pop, BTS wouldn't even exist and be as popular as they are today. However, absolutely no one is denying that these big first and second generation K-pop acts helped BTS become a group, because the members were part of the idol training system, and without it, they wouldn't even have met. But it was not because of the K-pop system that BTS became global artists. If this was the case, other bigger groups at the time with way more resources should have become global instead of them. BTS became global artists because they and their almost bankrupt label were rejected opportunities in the K-pop industry, and they were forced to find their own out-of-the-norm creative ways to promote themselves. The first and second generation helped BTS exist as a group, but they didn't pave the way because they didn't make it easier for BTS or anyone else in K-pop to enter the Western music market. They actually made it more difficult. This is why all the previous K-pop groups who attempted to enter the Western music market failed. And after their failures, no other K-pop group tried to enter too, including BTS. BTS accidentally entered the Western music market because their music and personalities became popular on Twitter and YouTube, a way of promotion that K-pop acts didn't seriously consider before. This should be enough proof that the second generation of K-pop didn't pave the way. They actually destroyed the way because no one dared to walk through that road again. Now, thanks to BTS, the way is paved, and K-pop groups have multiple opportunities to promote in the US.
So that's exactly what I was kind of saying there. I'm not saying the other generations paved the way. All I'm saying is that they had to go out there and try their best to prove how hard it is to actually make it into this market, so BTS could break through that and show how to do it and how hard it was to pave the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have that little bit of failure before the success so you can see how great the success actually is. Now, we're getting back to Mr. Psy over here. Like I said, I know Psy is BTS's #1 biggest fan, and things they paved the way too, but in my mind, I just cannot forget the fact that in college I was drunk as hell in the club, spilling my drink everywhere, doing the Gangnam Style, you know? And to me, it just has to be also mentioned in the conversation. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that these people actually paved the way. They just should be mentioned. And I think that Boracity is doing the exact thing that I would have I love this.
The second argument against is that Psy paved the way because Gangnam Style was a global hit, so he made K-pop be known globally. However, that is not paving the way. Gangnam Style was huge, but his musical career didn't see much growth in the Western and global music industry. He was invited to American award shows, morning shows,
I remember watching some of
shows,
these.
and he even had collaborations with Western artists.
Yep.
So he was the first in doing many things, but he didn't make it easier for other K-pop acts to debut in America. The general public knew Gangnam Style, but many didn't even know his name or the country he was from.
And I think that I'm a little different because like I did know his name and I was Googling him. Like I'm a music guy. That's why I do my wrap ups here. That's why I'm just a music discoverer. So when Gangnam Style came out and then Psy started putting out other hits like Gentleman and things like that, I was going to look them up and I was going to listen to them. So me personally, I did do that, but I understand what y'all are saying too, that not everybody did that. And it didn't make K-pop a household name. And that's totally okay. I'm just a weird breed and that's why I'm a YouTuber making music reactions. So you know what I mean? That's how I ended up here. But anyway.
From. Psy said, there were even people who thought my name was Gangnam Style. Some people overseas would say, hi Gangnam Style. Some did get to know about K-pop because of him. But since his future singles decreased in popularity amongst the general public, he stopped being invited to all of these shows. He was considered a one-hit wonder and a funny phenomenon that will disappear after some time. And that was what happened. And I know that racism and xenophobia played a big role in his downfall. So I don't think we should blame him at all. It's not that Psy didn't want to pave the way for others. It's that Psy couldn't pave the way. But K-pop fans can be mad about his situation while also not inventing a story of success and paving the way. Discrediting BTS, the actual ones who paved the way. Especially when BTS in 2017 also faced similar hardships and were also considered a weird phenomenon that will disappear after some time.
Oh no!
The difference is that
maybe people never showed me that before for a reason, because now I'm angry. Because now I'm mad. Oh my god. If I was there, I would be in trouble for assault. That's so fucking disrespectful. The age thing, you know what? I'll give y'all that because at the end of the day, they look amazing. And I get that. Okay? They don't age, sweeties. They don't age. But don't be throwing out konnichiwa and saying things like this is freaking America. I hate this country. Oh my god, let me not put that on here. I dislike this country.
that they kept growing because they were actually gaining fans. And these fans helped BTS win awards, perform on TV, sell their albums in American stores, and sell out stadiums. This made K-pop be known by the general public and actually be part of the American music industry, not just a funny guest. So Psy is the closer BTS can get of a Korean senior, but he didn't really experience BTS's level of popularity as artist. And he doesn't really know what it's like to help your country's music industry be part of pop culture conversations. BTS had to and did figure out by themselves how to stay in the worldwide music industry, and that's how they paved the way for others. They made the way easier to walk through, and they can give advice on how to do it, since it's a road they paved by themselves. The third argument against is that BTS only paved the way for the American music market, and that we shouldn't prioritize their American achievements when other countries exist. I think this argument comes from people with little knowledge in the music industry.
This is like the biggest market.
Whether or not, the American music industry is the biggest music market in the world. Its value is more than 2 times bigger than Japan's, the second biggest music market. And not only that, but unlike other countries, America creates a chain reaction. The biggest artists in the United States have high chances to also be big in other countries, including Japan and the other big markets. But the biggest artists in Japan are big in Japan only. Of course, there are a few exceptions, but even those exceptions don't change the fact that you won't listen to the biggest artists from Japan, Germany, and France in the US, in Latin America, or in every Asian country.
Shame,
the only music market that can do this is the one of the United States. This is why Billboard has 2 global charts, a global chart which includes the US and other global chart which excludes the US, because the United States carries the global music industry numbers. The funny thing is that BTS charts well in both the global charts including the US and the global charts excluding the US. This is why BTS paved the way not only for the American music market, but also for the global music market. BTS is huge in all of these countries, not just South Korea and the United States.
I know that.
They are the biggest artists, not group artists. albums. In Japan's Spotify, they sold out Wembley Stadium twice in the UK. They are the only Korean act to have #1 albums in Germany. They're the only Korean group to sell out Stade de France. And this also happens in other countries with smaller music markets. It was only after BTS performed in Saudi Arabia when K-pop groups decided to also perform in Saudi Arabia. BTS paved the way for K-pop to have some visibility in every country of the world. Thanks to them, K-pop has grown everywhere, and there are now K-pop festivals around the world, and K-pop albums are more easily distributed.
Go look at your local Walmart.
Truly honored to be on this stage with such.
I was there, and I will say this every time. I was there.
Another argument against is that each group has paved their own way. And what people say about this is that K-pop idols worked very hard on passing all the auditions they had as part of the idol training system, and they practiced a lot to strengthen their talents and get their achievements. Again, that is not paving the way. Paving the way is making it easier for others to do something. So if I say XYZ group paved their own way, I'm saying XYZ group made it easier for themselves to be known in the global music industry. And this is just not true, because the road is already paved. So how did they make it easier for themselves and others? I could argue the complete opposite. I could say that BTS were the only ones who paved their own way, and this has to do with BTS's musical influences and hardships. If you really want to attribute BTS's path to someone else, attribute it to the artists that actually inspired their music, art, and movement, which is black music, genres like hip-hop and R&B, dance styles like breakdance, legendary rappers and singers who take pride in writing their own songs,
it needs to be said.
Talking about their personal struggles and experiences. This is not to say that K-pop hasn't also been inspired by black music. K-pop may sound and look like black music, but the purpose of the genres got lost. With some exceptions, of course, K-pop groups are not inspired by these genres anymore. They don't pay for the samples they use, and they don't recognize the musicians who are actually composing their music. They just want the aesthetic. This is why there are many K-pop rappers wanting to look like Rihanna, but not even knowing what genre she does. On the other hand, BTS have been actual fans of hip-hop artists since they were kids. And they were
Go listen to Hip Hop File, okay? Go listen to it. Go read the BTS book. You hear about their journey with the music and discovery of rap music and how it's like poetry, and that's exactly what needed to be said too. This is sprouting, coming from black culture, and it is very, very important that that is always said. Now, I believe BTS was very inspired by black culture and hip-hop and R&B and things like that, but they took it and kind of created and made their own type of genre out of it while always paying homage and always paying respects to where they got their influence from. And I don't think you see that as much with other groups. Sorry, just had to say it.
Actually inspired by them. This is why they've always paid homage to their influences by mentioning their idols in songs, paying for the samples they use, and crediting them, showing their pictures in concerts, and even making documentaries featuring them and their voices. All of this while also prioritizing their own message, lyricism, and creative ways. BTS took the basics of these genres to express their own voices and create their own unique path in the music industry. This is how you pave your own way. BTS didn't have the platform, but they had the talent, determination, creativity, and real love for music. For a K-pop group to pave their own way, they will have to walk through a path they paved by themselves. And that's not what they're doing. They only take the opportunities that BTS gave them. Finally, the last argument against the idea that BTS paved the way is that they actually opened the door and closed it, or that they paved the way for themselves and then closed the road for everyone else. They say this is because BTS's popularity is so big that no matter how hard others try, K-pop acts will always be in the shadows of BTS. And I believe that can be true, but only when you treat the road as a way to instant BTS level of success. The road BTS paved is not a road to be BTS. It's a road to have visibility in the global music market.
That is so true too. Okay, so imagine it like this. Let's say one group of people spends years paving an actual road, right? They're doing it pebble by pebble. They're making the entire pathway. They're digging through the jungle to try to cut down trees to make this path, right? And then they finally make it to the end and the world's like, dang, that was so much work and you guys did it. Like, congratulations. And then sometimes another group is like, oh look, we can start making our own path over here, or we can just take this nicely paved path over here. And so they run up that path that's already paved, right? And then they're like, hey, VMA, and then they're wondering why they're not at the level of BTS. That's the exact same thing that I've spoken about too in my other TikTok videos about the VMA Awards, and everybody saying BTS needs to not be nominated to give everybody else a chance. And it's like, no ma'am, no sir, no, that is not how that works, okay? You can't disrespect and diminish the talent of what people have done or what BTS is doing just because they've won a lot of awards already. That's not how that works. You can't say that other people deserve a chance, and so don't nominate the people that paved the way. Like, that's what gets me so upset. So I definitely understand why, if you take that route, how it's gonna seem like you're in BTS's shadow because you walked along their pathway instead of maybe creating your own. No hate to anybody. This is just fact.
But you still need to work hard to create your own artistic identity. The road is paved, but you still need to run. In other words, K-pop now has visibility in the Western music industry because K-pop groups now get invited to American TV and award shows. They now have American tours and albums on Target shelves. But they still need to make themselves different from BTS because the best at being BTS are BTS. And no matter how hard K-pop tries, they won't beat them. This is why the K-pop group's attempts of being recognized as the next BTS
Don't get me started on that.
hard to have the exact same achievements BTS had. They want to get the exact same records. And again, that is treating the road as a way to BTS's level of popularity, not as an opportunity to have visibility in the global music market. But there are some who do understand what this new road BTS gave them is about.
They paved the way. You have to admit, they paved the way.
The respect,
The majority
you
of
know?
K-pop acts don't really say anything at all about BTS's popularity and the opportunities they gave them. It should be obvious, but they act like BTS doesn't exist or like they are just another K-pop group. This has something to do with their labels controlling them and their image.
I'm sure.
However, there are some who do admit that BTS paved the way for them, and the ones who say it simply take the opportunity that BTS gave them, say thank you, and move on with their careers. They know that competing against BTS is useless, so they do their best to use the global platform BTS gave them to showcase their talents. Starting with the founder of K-pop, Seo Taiji. 25 years had to pass for Seo Taiji to recognize another socially conscious Korean artist he could pass the torch to and proclaim as his successor. In 2017,
Chills.
Seo Taiji asked BTS to remake his classic Come Back Home and told them, "This is your generation now." Another popular group from the first generation is Shinhwa. When talking about Korean entertainment agencies and the difficulty in balancing promotions in Korea and in the US, a member from Shinhwa said,
물론 이런 모든 고정관념을 깨는 게 저는 BTS라고 봐요. 그래서 이제 저도 생각이 좀 바뀌고 있긴 한데 그래도 BTS한테 조금 이제 원하는 거 그래도 한국 팬들을 가끔 생각을 해주셔서
Rain, another singer from the first generation, appeared on a show where the interviewer said that the BTS promoted in the US thanks to Rain, but he responded they became successful because they worked really hard on their own. It has nothing to do with me. Some K-pop fans say that the second generation paved the way, including groups like Wonder Girls. But this was what Sungmi from Wonder Girls said in 2019. In an interview she had for Billboard, a K-pop journalist tried to credit this group for the increased global popularity of K-pop. The interviewer said, "It's partially because of the groundwork laid by you and Wonder Girls." But Sungmi responded, "No, BTS."
Simple,
Yuri,
just like
another
that.
member from Wonder Girls, also said that since they also promoted in the American music industry, she feels more sympathy and pride for BTS because it was really difficult when Wonder Girls tried to enter that industry. After Beast, a second generation group, was noticed in a foreign country, someone asked if it was because of K-pop, but a member of the group responded, "No, thanks to BTS." K-pop singer Ailee also said, "We K-pop artists are really proud of them because we know how hard it is to make it in the industry. The fact that they opened up these doors and cleared the way for us, it's a huge hope for us."
I'm getting
Singling
emotional.
out BTS, Psy said BTS achieved Gangnam Style's unfulfilled dreams since they got
That's it.
permanence and persistence,
That's it.
as well as 6 #1 songs in the US, while Psy's highest peak
That's
was
it.
number 2. Moving on to the third generation, the K-pop group KARD said that the reason why they are receiving such a pleasant response overseas is because their sunbase or seniors, BTS, have paved the way really well. One member also said, "There's so many things we can learn from them, so we're looking towards them with respect." I feel like BTS has created a genre of their very own.
Agreed.
Members from Astro, SF9, and 17 had also said that they have a lot to learn from BTS, referencing how BTS's achievements in the West helped them. The group Big Bang said, "Back then, there was no precedent like this. It was something that could only be imagined. BTS went to the Billboard Music Awards and achieved a great result. So we thought, wow, it's something that's actually possible. It seems to have made us work a
Inspirational
bit harder. A
also.
member from G-Idol said, since BTS did help and introduce so many people to so many artists, we're influenced by them too. We would like to also strive for a similar path. A member from Monsta X said, they really paved the way for us and other K-pop acts. They made way for us to participate in the United States music industry. I don't know if we'd be able to do the things we're doing right now without them. Another member said, BTS paved the way, so I think it's been a little smoother for us. A member from Luna said, we got a lot of attention only because of our son Benin's BTS, who paved the way for K-pop.
BTS.
Yes, I would say they definitely opened up the gate for everybody in the K-pop. I would say
They're legends. They paved the way. You have to admit, they paved the way. Anyway, mad respect to BTS.
I love hearing
진짜
Makchan say
오늘
that.
미국 쪽에는 저희가 이렇게 K-팝의 인기가 있어질 거라고 생각을 못했어요. 근데 이렇게 이제 방탄소년단 선배님들께서 먼저 이렇게 열어주셔가지고 저희도 조금 더 알릴 수 있는 기회가 되지 않을까 싶어서 되게 감사하고 저희도 더 미국 활동을 해보고 싶다는 생각도 하게 됐어요.
Helena Kosinski, the vice president at Nielsen, an information and data measurement firm, said BTS opened the floodgates for K-pop and that BTS makes K-pop become a mainstream trend on the global market. South Korea's culture minister praised BTS for providing a way forward to K-pop. The vice president and chief
It just
operating
keeps coming.
officer
It keeps
of the
coming.
Korea Creative Content Agency stated K-pop has skyrocketed since BTS's popularity surged, creating jobs not only for BTS and their team but other K-pop idols as well. And the then president of South Korea, Moon Jae-in, said that BTS are the pride and future of South Korean culture and named them as the special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. Also, when talking about innovative strategies to communicate directly with fans, he said BTS paved the way.
Loved all of that. And all of that is so true. And I love that all of the idols from the older generations, newer generations, all see that too. Like, yes, K-pop was a thing before BTS, but BTS made it a global thing. That's what has to be recognized. And that's what we do recognize.
So there are definitely a lot of K-pop acts who give BTS their credit, but like I said, there are many who don't. These are usually K-pop acts being pushed to be the next BTS. And what they like to do is mention goals like Billboard and Grammys, but only crediting second generation groups as their inspiration, or even saying that they are the ones paving the way for others.
We had other artists that's been going overseas and doing what we're doing. So I guess we grew up watching them, thinking, we wish to be the group that opens up the door for more
other foreign artists to
spread their music.
But still, the majority mention other groups that inspire their goals and don't address BTS at all, even when these goals were only achieved by BTS. So why is it so difficult to accept it?
I wish I would have never saw the last clip. I'm glad to know it exists, but that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I don't really like the "they are just jealous" response because it can be seen as a lazy response. But in this case, I really believe it all comes down to that one reason: jealousy. In the case of K-pop fans, the majority of the ones who deny that BTS paved the way were fans of the second generation of K-pop, who feel that saying that BTS paved the way for K-pop erases the second generation's achievements. And like I said, as hurtful as it is, BTS gave K-pop opportunities that the first and second generation couldn't. But the jealousy also comes from K-pop groups and labels who have been privileged their entire careers. The privilege.
No matter how much of a mess the group is, the groups on the big three are guaranteed to have a successful career. This is why the biggest groups before BTS were always from the big three. Nowadays, the groups from the big three have the same impact as they had before BTS's global popularity, but they are nothing in the global music market when compared to BTS. And this hurts the big three even more because BTS and their label used to be nobodies compared to these agencies. Even until this day, Today, the three biggest K-pop labels have a crazy amount of power in the Korean entertainment industry. They basically run most K-pop platforms, TV networks, and media in general, giving their K-pop groups the advantage of having more screen time, more positive reviews, more news coverage about them. This is why BTS, even with all the money they've contributed to their label and South Korea's economy, are still to this day being banned, lied about, and sabotaged by the industry. It's not just about money, it's about power. BTS and therefore HYBE have a lot of money, but they don't have the power. They don't have connections with Korean TV networks and media like these other Korean entertainment agencies do. BTS are the biggest group in the world, but the news cover their achievements the least amount of times they can because it doesn't benefit them.
보도가 돼요. 그러면 우리가 흔히 알고 있는 소위 대형 기획사의 아이돌이 그것보다 사실은 못 미치는 어떤 활약을 보였을 때 미디어에 보도되는 양이나 그 커버되는 범위를 보시면 희한히 차이가 납니다.
실제 그렇구나.
실제로 그렇다는 것이 저도 이제 알게 됐어요. 그런 것들이 이미 팬들 사이에서는 잘 알려져 있고 이번 그래미 같은 경우 어떻게 들어가냐면 주요 부문에서 등극에 실패했다라고 한다든지
Yeah, literally.
그런 경향이
아무리 마이너 장르라도 그래미 후보에 올랐다고 하지.
So K-pop labels and sometimes their K-pop groups refuse to accept that BTS paved the way because they couldn't, even when they had all the power and money from the start to do it. They are jealous that 7 nobodies from a nobody agency grew bigger than them, so they refuse to accept reality. This attitude from K-pop groups is also reflected in the way it's become harder for BTS to find friendly people in the industry.
근데 이제 그때부터 이제 친구도 없고 이러다 보니까
친구가 없어요.
네, 핸드폰이 이 전화번호 목록을 찾아보면 연예인 친구가 10명이 안 돼요.
진짜?
대부분 사람들도 이제 저희 부담스럽다고 보통 친구로도 잘 안 놀아주더라고요.
진짜?
And you can show me all the K-pop groups on the big three interacting with BTS, but almost none of these compilations feature interactions with BTS after the real global massive success. It used to be fun when BTS were nobodies or just the biggest in K-pop, but now that BTS is the biggest group in the world, K-pop labels envy that, and they don't want their groups to interact or even mention them. This is why BTS's friends from the industry are mostly indie artists who are not trying to compete against BTS.
Yeah.
I really don't like the way it has become controversial to say that BTS paved the way, because if you really think about it, it's not that big of a deal. The phrase doesn't imply that BTS are better than every other K-pop group, and although I actually believe they are the best group ever, you can't think the complete opposite and still be able to agree with me, because the phrase only means that BTS gave opportunities for K-pop to be recognized globally. So learn a little from BTS and pay tribute to the ones who help you be where you are today. And if you don't want to mention them at all, that's also fine. Just don't be delusional and jealous.
Don't be delusional.
K-pop fans, as well as K-pop labels and groups, shouldn't be hurt by the fact that BTS paved the way. It's not an insult to your group. It's a sea full of opportunities to be seen and recognized in the worldwide platform BTS created.
And they created the platform, baby. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Bora, for breaking that down. That is exactly my thoughts. And I hope that now I can kind of just say that's what I was trying to say. But of course, Bora did a better job of explaining it all. I love BTS and I truly believe that they paved the way. 100%. They are the reason that I am now a fan of K-pop. 100%. I liked Psy song. It didn't make me a K-pop fan. I liked BTS songs. It opened up the door to a whole nother world for me. So I 100% agree with everything that Bora is saying. BTS paved the motherfucking way, and if you don't believe it like she says, just keep it to yourself. But don't be delusional, and don't embarrass yourself by saying they didn't pave the way, because everybody else is laughing at how dumb you look, okay? Keep that in mind. Thank you again so much to Bora for this amazing video. Once again, this video essay is everything I needed in my life. I hope that you all enjoyed this and watching it along with me. Make sure you click like, comment, and subscribe down below, and remember, I love you. I'll be back soon. Until then, bye. Would love to know them by name. So